strawberry drink.
Lovely.
What do you like? What do you call it? What's the English word for this? Right. So you have strawberry concentrate, and you mix it with water, and it turns into what?
Oh, diluting juice.
You still call it juice?
Yeah.
That
I mean,
is
we
so
call
weird.
everything juice, so I
Yeah.
think that's just a.
Because we have two words for these
That's-
separate things.
Mm.
Yeah, juice is always like pressed fruit for me. That's
Oh,
why it
okay,
feels really
yeah.
weird to call it juice. But yeah, now it makes sense. I'm gonna
Yeah,
grab some of that.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know. I think we call fizzy pop with juice as well, so. And that's just us being weird. I'm gonna go make a cappuccino.
All I see you. Actually, I'm gonna just do this.
I'm back.
What's up?
I need to check spells.
And get that one-time consumable thing. The cool thing about the setup for the recording now is that the spot where Discord used to be, because I don't have Discord in that spot anymore, I now just have like my little note section, so my notes are like hidden behind where Discord's supposed to be now.
See, I'm telling you, dude. Coming in with those hot tips.
Gosh, I love... Oh, never mind, that's not the song I thought I heard. I love living in Apocalypse World. Yeah, no one bothers me, people stay away from me.
Honestly, I'm into
Yeah, I can dig that.
wearing a mask and everything. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, this is probably heaven for you.
Everywhere I go, it's all my NPCs.
Like, no one questions when I don't talk to people. Like, dude, it's perfect.
I want to show up at work in a gas mask now. That'd be fantastic.
Bro, have you seen some of the, I'll have to get my wife to send it to me. Some of the most ridiculous ones.
No, I have not. Well, I've seen plenty, but I don't know if I know what you've seen.
Oh, man. I'll have to get her to send it to me.
You know, I was playing Persona 4, and in a part of the game, like a fog rolls in, and everyone's like freaked out that it's poisonous. And straight up, I'm like, man, Persona 4 is ahead of its time. There's some guy on the TV who's upselling gas masks and stuff at high prices. Everyone's freaking out about this fog, which may or may not be poisonous. There's a guy walking around and screaming it's the end of the world wearing a gas mask. I'm like, Persona 4 is ahead of its time. It predicted a COVID. So,
Yeah, except, in that situation, there's probably, like, actual deaths.
no, it's just everyone getting sick in the Persona game.
Oh. The average age of a person that dies from COVID is 10 years older than the average age of a person that normally dies.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
When you get a moment, have a look at the picture I posted in the chat.
Ooh, what is that? That looks
Oh, you're
Pictures we're posting?
okay.
Yeah, it's my mug. My aunt actually painted this.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
nice.
cool. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's pretty.
It's artsy.
Also, welcome back.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
What time is it?
Because I want you to
2:30.
That's sick. I
Fred,
love
do
it.
you know roughly when you got a dip?
Let's see. Let me do some quick math here. That means my brain is mush.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna
Math-
ask
math
math
meme incoming.
I'm gonna ask something along the similar strain. Are you gonna be with us all day today, or are you gonna have a dip as well?
About another hour and a half, yeah.
Okay.
I was supposed to take my kids over to the pool and do stuff, but that ain't gonna happen. Because it's been thundering all day.
Oh, fun.
Oh, just like in this the little sealed glass container.
Mhm.
Easy.
Thunder and
Yeah.
lightning, very, very frightening.
Yeah, Fred, anything?
I could do 2.5 at most, 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe three.
We might go
pushing
just
it.
we might go for just a 1.5 or 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I should be
So-
good then.
Awesome. Let's get the ball rolling since we have a bit more of a time crunch. So, Lorelai brings you guys in front of the throne room's double doors. There are 2 guards on both sides, so a total of 4 different guards, similarly heavily armored like the ones you guys saw prior, bringing the apprehended to the dungeons. Lorelai turns around, like she's in front of the doors, like the crack of it, or like where is the seam of it, rather. And she turns around, gives you all a once over, making sure you guys are like presentable and things like that. She does go to a couple of you. I don't know which of you. If I don't know, we can roll to find out. I'm gonna do 1d4 to see how many people she goes up to. All right, she goes up to 3 of you. All right, I'm gonna do 3d4.
Someone that gets
It goes by the bottom. It goes by the bottom of roll 20. So 1 is Thea, and 4 is
They're all gonna be like just 4 or something.
2, 3, 4. All right, so everyone except Thea. Nice.
Okay. I'll
You're
just stand
good,
over
you're good.
here.
No, she's just going up and like tidying things off for you guys, like making sure like your like armor or your vest or something like that is a bit more well kept. So a bit more presentable. And then, once she does that for those of you involved, she goes back to the front and gives you all another once over.
I sneak in a smile when she does that.
She just gives you a nod.
Thank you.
Okay. She looks at the guards closest to the door and give them both a nod, and they take a step to the door and open the doors for you guys. And change music. So, you guys enter into the throne room itself. The throne room is in a sort of diamond pattern with a couple key features, though. Imagine like a diamond, or if we want to use a more exact mental image, like a rupee from Legend of Zelda.
Nice.
The left and right sides of this rupee diamond are pools of water, like mostly rectangular pools of water, and there are spouts that drain water into these pools. You note that the water of these spouts and in these pools are a very different color than the water outside. And you can tell what the water color is outside because adorning that back half, so where the thrones actually are for this room, are a bunch of tall glass windows that allow the king and queen to view the rest of their city-state kingdom. There's nothing in the water, but the water is very bright. The thrones themselves are elevated on a dais, whatever, and that dais has its own moat, which is also a different color. It is a bridge that you had to, well, I say bridge, a stretch of walking land that you had to cross over before you get to their half of the throne room. So there's basically like a double arrow-shaped room. Lorelei just begins walking. You can obviously this is her parents, this is her royal court, so to speak. She's not intimidated by all this. What's the order you guys march in? Is it 1 by 1, in a line, 2 columns of 3? What do you do?
Cork will do what he's done so far and fall in a respectable distance behind Lorelei and just assume that the other party members follow.
That's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'll just start walking shoulder to shoulder with my boys and not boys, but still my boys.
Ya dudes, ya fellas.
Dude is a
Squad fam.
Gender neutral term. My dude. Okay, so from the sounds of it, you're next to Cork. So there's 2 people.
Yep.
You guys want to make it 3 or more? What are we doing?
Do you want to do 2 and 2? Because if it's like 3 and then 1 person just in the back.
I mean, you guys also have Eric and Abby.
Yeah, so if we do 3
so we
and then
do.
3.
Yeah, I forgot
You guys
about
have 2 rows of 3. You guys.
Oh snap! We could do 1, 2, 4. Then it's like we created a triangle. That's pretty fancy.
that.
Go with the fancy.
up to you
Go with
guys.
the fancy.
I like it.
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah,
that.
let's do a triangle.
I'll be in the 2.
Alright. Rose and Ruhan, the double R's making the 2. And then 3 forming the back. 1, 2, 3, not 4. Lorelei is well ahead of you guys. Thea, you're next to Abigail, who's next to Merrick. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys trail in a pyramid pattern. You guys cross the bridge, hearing the water just decanter down into the pools of water. This very pure, like crystal clear, but has like that sort of teal coloration to it, almost, befitting of like tropical paradises, really. Water to them. The room itself is this alabaster color, almost like bone, except not so. It doesn't have that sort of like porous quality that bone has. It is like more akin to like bone-esque marble and stuff like that. It is very polished, very neat, and very pure looking, which helps highlight the assorted trimmings and colorations of it. There's golden trimming built into different parts of the wall. There are different banners from what you assume would be aquatic elven nobility. The colors of their banners highlighted by the bright white backgrounds. And of course, these bright white backgrounds also help highlight the darkness, the dark hues of blue of the water outside. Certainly is a room to behold, and very befitting of royalty, even though the royalty is royal of a fading civilization. Royalty they are still. You guys continue forward. Lorelei well in front, so I'd say a good, we'll say 7 foot head start. Then you guys, each of you, we'll say, I don't know, a foot and a half distance in between each row. As you guys cross or as Lorelei, because she's first, crosses, she begins stepping off to the side, like so as to sort of give you guys a wide berth so you guys have space to line up. Because obviously talking in like this sort of military as pyramid pattern isn't good for diplomatic efforts. Yeah. Unless you guys want to give off a militarily based sense of diplomacy, but that's up to you guys. Courtly elegance or military ranking? Which one do you guys want to go for?
We could sort of fan out the pyramid in like an inverse semicircle. So me taking the middle spot and then fanning out on the, like.
Yeah, so the
Just
two
wanna
people
point
on
out-
your left and right, and then the three
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
I feel like we
Hey,
all
I dig
discussed
it.
this going into the situation. I'm just like, okay, how the fuck are we gonna do this?
I imagine you guys were talking about this like as you guys are coming up, which is
Yeah.
would have been what Varric's point would have been, but whatever, it's fine.
We were never stripped of our weapons, were we?
Yo, you weren't. But to be fair, you can tell the king and queen are armed, and
Yeah.
Lorelai is of
Right.
course
I
also
could probably
armed.
whoop our fucking asses.
Okay. Ruhan would take his helmet and hold it at his side.
Ah, because almost like a Spartan. Spartan-esque way. Varric doesn't take off his face plate or anything. Varric is very dismissive of noble culture. to
Can
be
you
fair.
guys still hear me? Okay, my connectivity is in
Yeah,
red
I
and
can
yellow.
I hear you just fine right now. If you're saying anything prior, like, or
No, okay, then I'm good for now. I'll just keep that monitoring.
Yeah,
Roger,
I think
roger.
mine's been flickering a lot too as well. So
I mean, I haven't heard any audio problems from you guys. It's like, so
Mm.
you guys are fine.
Yeah, bros doesn't have
Hey,
it
all
on
good.
for like a hot minute.
yeah, 'cause I think mine disconnected yesterday for like a good 15 minutes.
Weird.
had to like.
Had problems yesterday. That's why.
Okay.
Discord, Valorant, Roll20, a lot of stuff.
Oh,
The
wow.
internet shut itself.
Yeah, not sketchy at all right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm happy it didn't happen today because we're on a time crunch. Speaking of that, let's get back to it. So you guys are in a semicircle around the king and queen's throne. All of you roll me perception.
They're not actually the king and queen. Ugh.
I mean, it's not like you know what they look like in the fucking first place.
God damn it. That's what I get for being CS.
I'll roll for you because you're not in your computer.
Yeah, I'll be home in like 5 minutes.
So that shouldn't have advantage as the first row, anyways. All right, so to Korik and Fia, you rolled a 15 by the way. To Korik and Fia, the differently colored water in the moat. It's a literal moat around their dais. It's a different color and it moves. Not in the sense of like there's water rippling. There's nothing that leads into this pool of water. Like nothing at all. It's utterly still up until you guys presenting yourselves, in which you begin sort of getting a bit of current to it. Like a bit of back and forth. Fia, you've heard of tales of creatures that are water and are loyal to some cause. So like a water weird or something.
Ooh.
Oh.
That being said, water weirds is just one archetype variant of such elemental beings. But you can tell that, armed or not, there's defenses in this room that, are more than meets the eye, Transformers style. Lorelai begins introducing you all from her closest to her farthest. Let's see, Corks is in the middle. We'll say we're gonna go through all these anyways. I don't want to spend too much time trying to think about the nuances of this. We'll start with Fia. You guys don't have to introduce yourselves. Again, Lorelai's doing that for you. But my question is, as Lorelai refers to each of you, what sort of bow, nod, take a knee, what do you do when you're referred to? So for you, Fia, what do you do?
Okay.
Before the king and queen.
Yeah. Oh god, I was hoping not to be first, so I could just copy. I guess I'll just do like the hand on the heart and kind of do a low bow, and then sort of come up.
Very well. You do a low bow, hand over heart. Next would be Ruhan.
He would do like a similar like soldier salute that he's probably seen many times before,
You've seen the Royal Guard do it a lot when you train with them.
and give a bow that is both respectful but not deferential.
Yeah, so it's like not even like a full 45 degrees, it's probably like 15 degrees. More like a
Yeah,
lean
I-
than a bow.
I'm here for business, not to become your chambermaid.
I thought you guys were here to be ombudsmen. Anyways, next up is Cork.
Somewhat similar. Salute, fist to heart. and then I will bow my head so that my chin is against my chest.
Okay. Got a bit of diversity in these gestures. Okay. Fist to heart, chin to chest. Gotcha. Rose?
I feel like I should give more detail than just, like, I bow. She's just
How
trying to be
low do you
respectful.
bow? Where do you put your hands?
I don't
Things
know.
like that.
I don't know what's
just-
good or bad.
You guys got your answers earlier.
She just...
Kind of the point, dude. Go with it.
She... I guess she keeps her hands at her side and tries to bow respectfully? Like,
How low do you bow?
a bit lower than, Bruhan. Didn't say Raitsi, sorry.
So, more than like 5 degrees. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That leaves Abigail and Varric. Varric would do some gesture similar to Ruan. He doesn't take off his faceplate of a mask, but he does do like a hand over his heart and like a low lean versus not really much of a bow. Abigail does the full thing, curtsy, hand over heart, the works.
Show
Abigail
off.
might not be royally educated, but she at least knows how to be fancy. You guys see the gaze of the king and queen. They are elves. Elves don't ever truly look old. One of their defining features, truly, when it comes to their age. So you don't really know how old they are, unless you're an elf yourself. Fia, you... Again, elves go to 250. That's around their maximum age for our setting here. Like, quartered alive, suckers. These two look like around either approaching or at that 200 mark. They're well traveled, or maybe not at it. Maybe just like I don't know, a couple of decades before it. So like 170, 180, something like that. Lorelai herself looks like 70, so they have a good hundo years, good century above their child.
Mm-hmm.
The king has short hair, which is kept upright, sort of, I want to say like slicked back, but, when you're constantly swimming, I guess it does sort of adopt that patterning to it when you go fast as fuck. At least, like, pressed up and back. Clean shaven, because all elves are, as expected. Sides are close shaven and stuff like that. The queen looks... a child looks like their parent. Who would have fucking guessed? She has the similar black hair of Lorelai herself. The king has this dark brown hair. Not black yet, but it's definitely getting there. The queen herself has black hair, similar angular features as Lorelai. Lorelai certainly takes after her mother in terms of the finning, the ribbing, and stuff like that. I think her hair, trying to remember the details here. Should have written it down. Oh well. Her hair is done in like this intricate, like sort of braid bun that is just sort of held into the back with like basically chopsticks, just sort of these spikes that sort of help keep her hair in place. So you guys are introduced by Lorelai to the king and queen. Lorelai then introduces the king and queen to you guys. Diplomats, might I present our royal majesties, King Theodos Kelthris, third of his name, and Queen Lithian. Don't worry, I'll type it out for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Freaking elves with their elf names. God, we should just murder all elves, like every single one of them.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, maybe not all of them, perhaps.
We'll save one. We'll save one.
Yeah, just one, maybe. Just
Well,
leave it.
All
No,
right.
come on.
Nah,
The
you gotta
elves
get the
that
completion
kill-
bonus. You gotta get the completion bonus.
So, we'll do it Nevera style. The elves that kill the most other elves can stay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
better
good.
get cracking.
So, those are the kings and queens of Athletoids.
But then we're stuck with Darcy and Orist.
You guys see their gaze, like, sort of... They're absolutely... or, in the case of the king, poker face, straight face, neutral. He's bereft of emotion. Apathetic. The queen, on the other hand, has emotion in it. The emotion of tranquility. Like, being very serene. Courteous. Which is interesting to note, because the fact that she doesn't have some first of her name thing means that she married into the royal family. So, you know which one was the original regal person. And you guys just are in moments of tense silence as they just look upon all of you. Does anyone break it, or do you guys are content with speak only when spoken to?
Hello, Your Majesty. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Of course.
King Theodos, his eyes go to towards his daughter. You guys can't see Lorelei. She actually took a step behind you guys, so as to not be seen by you guys, to sort of stay out of this, like off stage, so to speak. But you can see his gaze like goes past your guys' left, his right, behind you towards her. He looks back to you, Ruhan, and just like holds out his hand as like a continue. He didn't say anything though. He's like a go on motion.
We've heard many things about you so far, and I am quite curious as to how you've not. It's very impressive, the things you have done.
He raised an eyebrow.
It is not a common man that could best a storm giant.
His eyebrow raises further. And he
Let
looks at
alone.
his daughter again. The queen does so as well. They both look at their daughter. And you can't tell what Lorelei's doing behind you guys. She might be shrugging, doing motions, mouthing stuff. She might be communicating telepathically with her parents. You have no clue.
Let alone best them in such a way that they would part with such dear possessions.